reimbursement or not unreimbursed expenses by your employer, be sure to document that. Those may cause you to have an audit or to have your return pulled to get one of these three things. Normally, if you're an individual, you're going to have either a correspondent audit or you're going to have an office audit. Both of those are a little different. The second one is far more intimidating than the first because you're sitting there, you go through, you wait, and when you appear, you're in their little cubicle, and it's you and it's them, and they have this impressive looking background. So you need to take someone with you.
You need an advocate. Thank you so much for telling me that.
Yeah. You do. Now, quickly, you should ask if your advocate one has the authority to represent you, because under the new tax preparer registration, a registered preparer cannot represent you. He can go with you, but he can't go in place of you, and that's a little different. An enrolled agent, a CPA, or an attorney can go in place of you. So that may be something you want to consider if you have an audit.
So say it again, because I just thought any tax person, you can give them your stuff and send them to deal with the IRS. No?
No.
Yeah, they have to have a title.
No. Under the new law, a registered preparer cannot represent you before IRS. They can go with you, but IRS is expecting you to come along. If they're an enrolled agent, if they're a CPA or an attorney, they can represent you, and they can go along without you. So sometimes that's a good thing, because you may say things you didn't want to say.
Yes, you may. Don't do it. Go ahead.
You also want to make sure that they have been there before. One, just because they have the license doesn't mean this is what they do.
Right, exactly.
It's a particular kind of situation to go to IRS to do an audit. The auditor has the advantage when you're going to their place. When they're coming to you, they still have some advantage because they know what they want. They're going to ask for it in a certain way, and unless you're used to dealing with that, unless you know what strategy to have beforehand, your person still may have a problem trying to resolve the issue.
It reminds me of when you go to court, you know, the person who represents himself, what do they say about that in court?
It's a fool.
The person who represents himself in court is a, you're not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. I feel the same way with the IRS, and that's the mistake I was making, trying to work it out myself, and I just didn't know their language. And so finally I came to my senses, and here's Anthony.
Thank you, thank you. And also, finally, what you want to know is about how much it's going to cost, whether they'll have a set fee going in or it's going to be by the hour, and what it's going to entail, what should happen. And not all preparers do what we do. I kind of give you an idea, okay, this is what's going to happen. Here's an option 1 and option 2, and this is about what it will cost you. This is about how much time I think it's going to take. And if it goes bad, and I have had some that kind of go off the beaten path, they have to let you know, because it is kind of traumatic.
It is.
And it is your money. and so we always have to, the community have to be mindful of this is the stress that it brings to you, because a tax audit is always very stressful.
It is. You know, you get one letter and you're like, what is it? What do they want? What do I do? Then you get another letter and you're like, oh, it's very stressful.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're here to help you. And again, if I may toss in my last commercial,
contact information
is Anthony Sykes and Company. My phone number is 562-864-2341. We're located in Santa Fe Springs, but I cover a lot of territory. Plus, go to my website. It's www.sykesaccounting.com. Ask for our newsletter. It's free. There are lots of tips on there. And there are things that might help you if you have a question.
We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. In 2 minutes, what would I tell someone? I would tell you to always be prepared. Nowadays, banks let you have your bank statements online. Please print them, because it can cost as much as $5 a page. You never know when you're going to be audited. Even if you have a simple return in your mind, it may not be, because if something is missing and they want to see those bank statements, you have to pay that fee. You should always have your documentation, so put it with your return. Put that return where you can find it. You can keep your information. After 7 years, with some exceptions, you can toss that. I would say shred it. So right now for this year, it is be aware, because audits are up 400%.
1 minute. Give us your contact information one last time.
Anthony Sykes and Company, 562-864-2341, www.sykesaccounting.com.
Thank you so much, Anthony. And today we have been talking about audit flags for the IRS use, and they're up, they're out on the prowl, so you have to be extra cautious, and you have to get somebody to represent you. You cannot do this by yourself. They have a language that they use that you can fall into a trap. It's not exactly a trap, really, but you can make mistakes, and mistakes always cost you.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is
so thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you do. It took a lot of stress off me, and if you all have taxes, this is a person to talk to. I feel so relieved, Anthony. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm C. Deborah Thomas. We want you to be literate about taxes, and so please do what you need to do to get proper representation and to do the best you can for your taxes. Thank you for watching Literaray Speak.